Hi, it's Harry. I thought, give you my sense of how we're headed off into the summer months. Uh, a lot of economists are saying they're not expecting the Bank of Canada to drop or increase rates until they're seeing some level of inflation. In fact, it's been pretty muted. However, in their system, there's a forecast that says there'll be 2 quarter point increases in the fourth quarter. It'll be interesting to see because obviously all these energy prices that we've seen because of the war, Iran U.S. Israeli war. It's been 60 days roughly, and that's probably the time frame when we're going to start to see some impacts. We already see it in the airline industry where they're putting all these surcharges on fuel. Well, I expect we're going to see inflation peak up starting now over the next month or two, and maybe even if the war ends, there's probably another month or two of drop off. You just have to realize that every good that we have in a store or whatever is delivered on a truck or via a railroad, and they use diesel, and they use gasoline. So, and energy prices, petroleum products have gone up 50%, and it's not unreasonable to expect 25% of any goods or service costs is energy related. And why do I say that? It says even if you're a service group, whether you're accounting or engineering, if you drive to your clients, well, there's driving in there, so there's a cost structure. And if you're working on computers, there's a cost structure there too. So you can easily see there could be a 5 to 10% inflationary hit coming just due to high energy costs. We're starting to see it roll through, but I expect more of it to occur. So this will keep likely the Bank of Canada on the sideline with regard to interest rates increases. However, it might feel more recessionary for most folks because now all of a sudden your cost base just went up. But as I said earlier in my earlier discussion last week, the Calgary real estate market is pretty resilient. I mean, we haven't even seen a 10% true correction to our overall market. I don't expect to see it. So we're just bumping along. We might see some degradation in house pricing over the next summer months as all these inflationary effects and potentially this Kuzma talk rolls in. We'll see. It's going to be quite interesting. There's an old Chinese curse that said, I wish you live in interesting times. Boy, are we living in interesting times. We can't seem to get out of something without someone doing something stupid. And unfortunately, I've said to a lot of folks, the U.S. is not our friend on a lot of occasions. As we've all seen, they just help us along because we provide certain things to them, but it's them and us, and it's us first for them. So that's something we have to remember. I think things will just keep bumping along. Again, the November midterms are coming up, so I don't expect a real change in government policy down the states till next year. So I can see our housing prices being pretty stable relative to last year. You might see a few percent drift downward, but not a crash. We're not Toronto. We're not Vancouver. I don't expect a crash. We might just bump down 5% overall. but that's not a crash. That's not even a major. That's not even a true correction, which is typically 10%. Hopefully, this gives a lot of people, some hope. Good chance to buy, move up, or downsize. Don't cash out yet, as I've said before. Otherwise, have a great week.